As the first rays of dawn spill across the Masai Mara, the savannah stirs to life beneath a vast golden sky. From above, the endless plains unfurl in every direction, their tall grasses shimmering with dew, each blade catching the morning light. Acacia trees, their silhouettes stark and elegant, cast elongated shadows that stretch across the undulating landscape. The air is crisp, filled with the subtle chorus of awakening wildlife, distant calls, rustling leaves, and the soft hum of insects. This is not merely a backdrop, but a living stage where every sunrise marks the opening of a new act in the ceaseless drama of survival and adaptation. Amidst the ancient granite kopjes, two formidable dynasties emerge to greet the day. The Sunrise Kopjes lion Pride, led by the powerful Sango, claims the highest vantage point. His mane, thick and dark, glows with the first hints of sunlight as he surveys the territory below, every muscle poised for action. Not far away, the Anubis baboon troop assembles atop sun-warmed stones. King Taji, the dominant male, sits at the centre, his sharp gaze constantly scanning the horizon for both opportunity and danger. The troop gathers in tight formation, their movements synchronized, each member alert to the subtle cues of their leader. The lions descend from their rocky perch, moving with a deliberate fluid grace. Their golden coats ripple in the breeze, blending seamlessly with the tawny grass. Each step is calculated, their powerful shoulders rolling beneath the skin. Sango leads the pride, his deep roar reverberating across the plains, a proclamation of dominance that warns rivals and reassures his kin. The pride fans out, noses low to the ground, reading the invisible script of scents and tracks left by prey and competitors alike. Every movement is purposeful, every glance a silent communication within the pride's hierarchy. In contrast, the baboons rely on intelligence and intricate social bonds to navigate the dangers of the Mara. They groom one another with deft, nimble fingers, removing parasites and reinforcing alliances that are vital for troop cohesion. Youngsters chase and tumble in playful bursts, watched closely by vigilant adults. Foraging begins as a coordinated effort. Some baboons dig for roots, others pluck fruits or scan for insects, all the while communicating through a sophisticated language of barks, grunts, and expressive gestures. Their adaptability is their greatest strength, allowing them to exploit resources and evade threats with remarkable agility. The boundaries between these two kingdoms are often tested. On the open plains, tense standoffs unfold, lions and baboons separated by mere meters, each assessing the other with unwavering focus. The lions, embodiments of raw strength, rely on intimidation and patience. The baboons, ever watchful, use numbers and quick thinking to outmaneuver their adversaries. Every encounter is a contest of nerve and strategy, a silent negotiation where the stakes are survival itself. Sometimes a single misstep can tip the balance, sending both predator and prey into a flurry of action. The landscape itself is a silent architect of every encounter. Rolling grasslands ripple under the wind, their surface alive with the movement of hidden creatures. Scattered acacias provide shade and shelter, their thorny branches a refuge for birds and small mammals. The ancient kopjes rise abruptly from the plains, offering vantage points and hiding places alike. A winding river snakes through the wilderness, its banks lush with vegetation and alive with the calls of waterbirds. Here crocodiles lurk beneath the surface while herds gather to drink, always wary of what might be concealed in the reeds. With the turning of the seasons, the Mara is transformed. Torrential rains sweep across the plains, swelling the river and painting the grasslands a vibrant green. Storm clouds gather, casting dramatic shadows and unleashing bursts of lightning that illuminate the night. In the dry months, the earth cracks and dust swirls in the wind, forcing herds to travel great distances in search of water. Wildebeest, zebra and antelope move in vast columns, their migrations shaping the fortunes of predators and scavengers alike. Every creature must adapt to the shifting rhythm of drought and abundance, their lives dictated by the pulse of the land. Across this living tapestry, life unfolds in countless forms. A herd of elephants moves in stately procession, their trunks exploring the ground and their young sheltered in the centre. Overhead, birds wheel and dive, their calls echoing above the grass. In the undergrowth, insects hum and scurry, pollinating flowers and recycling nutrients. Antelope graze in the open, ever alert to the possibility of danger. Each creature, from the smallest butterfly to the mightiest elephant, plays a vital role in the intricate web of existence. In the Masai Mara, every day is a testament to resilience, adaptation, and the enduring beauty of wild Africa. As the first rays of sunlight spill across the ancient kopjes, the landscape awakens in a golden haze. The air is thick with anticipation, every shadow and rustle hinting at the drama about to unfold. Here, in the heart of the Mara, the Sunrise Kopjes lions and the Anubis baboons are locked in a daily contest, a battle where raw power collides with sharp intellect, and every dawn brings a new chapter in their ongoing rivalry. Sango, the formidable leader of the lion coalition, strides with measured confidence across the dew-laden grass. His mane glows in the morning light, a living banner of authority. Flanked by his brothers, their muscular forms move in perfect unison, casting long, regal shadows over the savannah. From their rocky vantage, they scan the horizon with unwavering focus, amber eyes missing nothing, every movement of prey, every subtle shift in the wind, every distant call. Their presence alone is enough to command respect, a silent proclamation of dominance that echoes across the plains. When hunger stirs, the lions become a living force of nature. Muscles ripple beneath tawny coats as they move with purpose, senses sharpened to the faintest sound. Their hunts are masterclasses in coordination, each lion knowing its role, every movement calculated. They fan out, circling their quarry, communicating with subtle glances and flicks of the tail. The chase is swift and brutal, a symphony of power and precision. Even when not hunting, they patrol their boundaries with vigilance, marking territory and sending a clear message to rivals. This land is fiercely defended. Their roars, deep and resonant, roll across the plains, a warning that reverberates through the ecosystem. Beneath the spreading acacias, a different drama unfolds. King Taji's troop of Anubis baboons navigates the rocky terrain with practiced ease. Their world is built on memory and experience. Each baboon knows every hidden path, every secret waterhole, every tree heavy with fruit. The troop is a living network of relationships, alliances forged in subtle glances, quiet grooming, and shared vigilance. Youngsters tumble and play under the watchful eyes of elders, while sentinels perch on rocks, scanning for danger. Their society is a tapestry of shifting loyalties, where wisdom is passed down through generations and survival depends on unity and adaptability. When danger approaches, the baboons transform in an instant. The troop surges together, bristling with energy and resolve. Their shrieks and lunges are not random. They are a calculated display, a show of strength in numbers and unyielding nerve. Older males bare their teeth and rush forward, while mothers gather the young to safety. The troop's coordinated defiance can turn the tables on even the most formidable predator, forcing lions to reconsider and sometimes retreat. In these moments, the baboons' courage and unity become their greatest weapons. Their alarm calls slice through the morning stillness, a piercing chorus that ripples outward across the savannah. The sound is unmistakable, sharp, urgent, and impossible to ignore. Antelopes freeze mid-graze, birds explode into flight, and even the lion's careful approach is undone in an instant. The baboon's vigilance becomes a lifeline for the entire ecosystem, their warnings echoing far beyond their own troop. Across this shared landscape, the tension is palpable. Lions and baboons move in parallel, each acutely aware of the other's presence. The lion's strength is matched by the baboon's intelligence, and both species are constantly adapting, testing boundaries, learning from each encounter. Their rivalry shapes the rhythm of life here, ensuring that neither grows complacent and that every day is a test of survival. In the vast expanse of the Mara, neither side claims absolute victory. Instead, their ongoing contest fuels the pulse of the wild, preserving a delicate balance where strength, intelligence, and unity are all essential for survival. The story of the lions and baboons is written anew each day, a testament to the resilience and complexity of life on the African savanna. Under the relentless sun of the dry season, the Mara River dwindles to a narrow ribbon, snaking through a landscape cracked and faded by thirst. The once mighty waterway is now a fragile artery, its muddy banks exposed, its pools shrinking with every passing day. For the wildlife of Kenya's savanna, this river is more than a boundary. It is the very essence of survival. Drawn by the promise of water, lions, zebras and buffalo converge at the river's edge. Their movements are slow and deliberate, each animal acutely aware of the others. The air is thick with tension, as predator and prey share the same desperate need, their instincts clashing beneath the surface of uneasy silence. As the river recedes, territories overlap and boundaries blur. Rival lion prides challenge each other with low growls and piercing stares, their confrontations echoing across the barren plain. Buffalo, massive and resolute, form defensive walls, ready to defend their young from both feline hunters and competing herds. Every step toward the water is fraught with risk. Zebras and wildebeest hesitate at the riverbank, their ears flicking and nostrils flaring as they scan for hidden threats. The decision to drink is a gamble. Wait too long and dehydration takes its toll. Move too quickly and unseen predators may seize the moment. King Taji's baboon troop adapts with remarkable discipline. They travel in a tight, coordinated group, weaving through brittle grass and scattered acacia, minimizing their exposure to danger. Each member knows their place, their movements synchronized by necessity and experience. High above, sentries perch on sun-baked rocks, their sharp eyes sweeping the horizon. Every flicker of movement is scrutinized, every shadow measured. At the first hint of danger, a sharp bark sends the troop scattering for cover, their survival dependent on constant vigilance. At the water's edge, ancient rivalries are momentarily suspended. Lions and zebras, predator and prey, lower their heads side by side, driven by a thirst that overrides caution. For a brief moment, the riverbank becomes neutral ground, necessity forging a fragile truce. But the peace is fragile. A sudden movement, a bird taking flight, a branch snapping, sends panic rippling through the crowd. Hooves thunder against the cracked earth as herds scatter in all directions, the instinct to flee overwhelming all else. Beneath the river's murky surface, crocodiles lie in wait, their bodies perfectly still, eyes just breaking the waterline. Invisible and patient, they are the silent threat, ready to lunge at any animal that lets its guard down for even a moment. Wildebeest, driven by instinct and desperation, push through the cracked mud and shallow pools. Their hooves sink into the soft earth, but they press on, determined to reach the last remnants of water, their bodies caked with dust and sweat. As the sun dips below the horizon, the Mara riverbank glows in the fading light. Herds and predators alike are silhouetted against the sky, each step and every drink a testament to their resilience. In this harsh season, survival is a daily battle, and the struggle for water shapes the destiny of all who call this kingdom home. Each year, the Masai Mara is transformed into a living, breathing tapestry as over 1 million wildebeest surge across the golden plains. From above, their numbers stretch to the horizon, forming a living river that snakes through the savannah. This unstoppable force is driven by ancient instincts and the promise of rain-soaked grasslands, where new life and nourishment await. The air vibrates with the sound of hooves, dust rising in shimmering clouds as the herds move in unison, their journey dictated by the rhythm of the seasons. Wildebeest, zebras and gazelles band together, forging ahead through dust and heat. Their journey spans hundreds of kilometers, each step shadowed by the silent pursuit of lions, hyenas and cheetahs, predators drawn by the abundance of prey. The herds move as one, their flanks constantly shifting as they sense danger. Predators trail at a distance, their eyes fixed on the weakest members, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. The migration is not just a movement, but a living drama, where every animal is both participant and witness. The migration is a relentless ordeal. Herds are harried by predators at every turn. Lions launch ambushes from the tall grass, their tawny coats blending seamlessly with the landscape. Hyenas prowl the flanks, ever watchful for stragglers, while cheetahs perch atop termite mounds, scanning for the weak and weary. Exhaustion and hunger gnaw at the travellers, yet the drive to survive pushes them onward. Some collapse, unable to continue, while others press forward, driven by the promise of fresh grazing and the instinct to endure. The journey's most perilous chapter unfolds at the Mara River. Here the herds gather in tense anticipation, their bodies pressed together on the muddy banks. The water churns with hidden danger. Crocodiles, ancient and patient, lurk just beneath the surface, their eyes barely visible above the current. The wildebeest hesitate, sensing the threat that lies ahead. The river is both a barrier and a gateway, and crossing it is a gamble with fate. With a surge, the herd plunges into the torrent. The river explodes with movement. Wildebeest scramble for footing, some swept away by the current, others seized by crocodiles. The stampede is a frenzy of survival, where every second counts. The water becomes a battleground, churning with panic and determination. Some animals are dragged under, while others fight their way to the far bank, battered but alive. On the far bank, survivors collapse onto fresh grass, trembling with exhaustion. Behind them, the river claims its toll. Crocodiles feast on the fallen, their powerful jaws snapping shut with finality. Along the muddy banks, vultures and storks descend, their sharp eyes spotting every opportunity. The remains of the crossing become a feast for scavengers, ensuring that nothing is wasted in this harsh landscape. This brutal spectacle is the engine of the Mara's ecosystem. Every loss sustains a web of life. Predators, scavengers, and even the soil itself are nourished by the migration's sacrifices. The fallen become the foundation for new growth, their bodies returning nutrients to the earth. Crocodiles, vultures and storks each play their part, maintaining the delicate balance that allows this ecosystem to thrive. The migration is nature's ultimate test, a breathtaking display of endurance, unity and the will to survive. Obstacles abound: swollen rivers, prowling predators and the relentless sun. Yet the herds press forward, driven by instinct and hope. Each animal's struggle is woven into the greater story of survival, a testament to the resilience of life on the savannah. In the Mara, every sunset marks the delicate balance between life and death. Predator and prey are bound together, each shaping the destiny of the other in this timeless cycle. As the sky glows with the last light of day, the drama continues, unseen, unending, and essential to the wild heart of Kenya. As dawn breaks over the endless grasslands of the Masai Mara, the golden light reveals a world where survival is a complex dance of alliances and rivalries. In this vast wilderness, few creatures can afford to rely solely on their own strength or senses. Instead, the animals of the Mara forge unexpected partnerships, each one born from the relentless demands of life on the savannah. Among the acacia-dotted plains, impalas and Anubis baboons often gather in loose, shifting groups. Their partnership is subtle but effective. Impalas, ever wary, graze with their heads down but ears twitching at every sound. Nearby, baboons perch atop termite mounds or fallen logs, their sharp eyes scanning the horizon for the faintest sign of movement. Together they form a living network of vigilance, each species amplifying the other's awareness of lurking danger. This shared alertness is a lifeline. A distant rustle in the grass, a fleeting shadow, or the faintest scent on the wind. Nothing escapes their combined senses. Impala mothers, usually on edge, can allow their fawns a few extra moments to feed, trusting that the baboon's alarm calls will warn them of approaching predators. Meanwhile, the baboons, confident in the impala's acute hearing, forage for roots and insects with a measure of security. Both species benefit, their fates intertwined by necessity. Yet, beneath the surface of cooperation, danger always lurks. During the impala calving season, the very baboons that once acted as sentinels reveal a darker side. Driven by hunger and opportunity, some baboons turn predator, snatching vulnerable newborn fawns in swift, brutal attacks. The alliance, once a shield, becomes a source of peril, a stark reminder that in the Mara, trust is always conditional. Elsewhere, another partnership unfolds with its own complexities. Oxpecker birds cling to the hides of African buffalo, their sharp beaks plucking ticks and insects from thick fur. At first glance, it seems a perfect symbiosis. One animal cleans, the other is cleansed. But the reality is more nuanced. Sometimes the oxpeckers aggravate open wounds, feeding on blood and causing discomfort to their massive hosts. The line between helper and exploiter is thin and constantly shifting. Across the plains, every encounter is tinged with uncertainty. When two species meet, there is a moment of silent calculation. Eyes lock, bodies tense, and each animal weighs the risks and rewards. Will this meeting offer safety, or will it end in violence? The answer is never guaranteed. For a solitary impala, the tall grass is both sanctuary and snare. It conceals not only potential allies, but also hidden threats. A tense standoff between species can erupt without warning, as alliances dissolve and motives shift with the changing winds. In this world, trust is fleeting, and every decision can mean the difference between life and death. The Mara is a land of paradox, where cooperation and rivalry are woven together in a tapestry of survival. Each day, animals must judge whether to join forces or stand alone, to trust or to doubt. In this ever-shifting landscape, the only certainty is uncertainty, and every alliance carries the shadow of betrayal. Here, the struggle for life is as intricate and unpredictable as the land itself. Across the vast golden plains of the Masai Mara, every animal is a living testament to the relentless force of evolution. Here, survival is a daily challenge, and each species is armed with a unique arsenal of adaptations, meticulously refined over countless generations. The Mara's ecosystem is a living laboratory, where only the most finely tuned traits persist, and every creature's existence is shaped by the demands of this dynamic wilderness. From the iridescent wings of a dragonfly skimming a waterhole to the armoured hide of a rhinoceros lumbering through the grass, every organism here is a specialist. Each has carved out a niche, developing extraordinary features that allow it to flourish where others might falter. The Mara's diversity is not just in species, but in the ingenious solutions each has found to the challenges of life. Take the giraffe, for example. Its elongated neck is more than a tool for browsing treetop foliage. It is a weapon in fierce battles for dominance. When two males compete, they engage in a ritual known as necking, swinging their massive heads like sledgehammers. Each strike reverberates through the air, a display of raw power and endurance. The victor earns the right to mate, ensuring that only the strongest genes are passed on. In stark contrast, the klipspringer, a diminutive antelope, has evolved for life among the Mara's rocky kopjes. Its hooves are uniquely cylindrical and rubbery, acting as natural shock absorbers. This adaptation allows the klipspringer to bound effortlessly across jagged boulders, balancing on the tiniest ledges with astonishing agility. Here, on these isolated outcrops, they find sanctuary from the predators that dominate the open plains. Unlike many grazers, klipspringers are not tethered to waterholes. They extract moisture from the succulent plants that grow among the rocks, allowing them to remain in these elevated refuges for days on end. This independence, combined with their sure-footedness, keeps them beyond the reach of most hunters. Hippos, on the other hand, are creatures of the river and floodplain. By day, they wallow in shallow pools or bask on muddy banks, their massive bodies shielded from the sun by a remarkable adaptation. Their skin secretes a viscous, pinkish fluid. This natural sunscreen not only protects against ultraviolet rays, but also acts as an antiseptic, preventing infection in wounds sustained during territorial skirmishes. The Cape buffalo, one of Africa's most formidable herbivores, relies on the collective strength of the herd. When danger looms, the buffaloes close ranks, forming a living fortress. Each animal presses shoulder to shoulder, presenting a wall of muscle and horn that few predators dare to challenge. Their horns, thick and curved, interlock to create an impenetrable barrier. This ancient strategy has thwarted countless lion attacks, as the predators are forced to weigh the risk of injury against the reward of a meal. For the buffalo, unity is survival. In the open grasslands, the cheetah reigns as the undisputed champion of speed. Every aspect of its anatomy is built for acceleration. A lightweight frame, elongated limbs, and a spine that flexes like a spring. In large nasal passages, gulp air, fueling muscles for short, explosive chases. In a blur of motion, the cheetah transforms the savanna into a racetrack, relying on split-second timing to bring down its prey. The leopard, by contrast, is a master of stealth and strength. Solitary and elusive, it drags its kills high into the branches, away from scavengers. Powerful forelimbs and retractable claws allow it to scale vertical trunks with ease, while its spotted coat provides perfect camouflage among the dappled shadows of the canopy. Hyenas, often misunderstood, are among the Mara's most efficient recyclers. Their jaws are engineered for crushing bone, extracting marrow and nutrients that others cannot reach. This adaptation allows them to thrive on leftovers, turning the remains of a kill into sustenance and ensuring that nothing in the ecosystem goes to waste. The impala, ever vigilant, survives by staying one step ahead of danger. With powerful hind legs, it can leap over 10 meters in a single bound, zigzagging through the grass to evade pursuit. These acrobatic displays confuse predators and give the impala precious seconds to escape. In this intricate web of life, every adaptation is a vital thread, woven together to create the Mara's enduring story of survival. Each animal, from the smallest insect to the mightiest mammal, plays a role in this grand tapestry, a living chronicle of resilience, ingenuity, and the unending quest to endure. In the heart of the Masai Mara, survival is rarely a solitary endeavour. The vast savanna stretches endlessly, dotted with herds and groups whose very existence depends on the strength of their social bonds. Each day, these connections are put to the test by prowling predators, sudden storms, and the constant struggle for food and water. For many species, unity is the difference between life and death. Among the acacia trees, Anubis baboons thrive within intricate troops. Their society is built on a delicate balance of dominance and alliance, maintained through constant grooming and a rich vocabulary of calls and gestures. When a leopard shadow flickers across the grass, the troop's sentinels raise the alarm. Instantly, adults rush to encircle the youngest and most vulnerable, forming a living shield. Injured members are not abandoned. Instead, the troop's cohesion allows them to recover under the watchful eyes of their companions, a testament to the power of collective care. In the golden grasslands, lion prides are ruled by experienced matriarchs. Lionesses, bound by kinship, synchronize their movements with remarkable precision. During a hunt, they fan out, each lioness anticipating the other's actions, working together to outflank and ambush their prey. Cubs, meanwhile, tumble and play under the watchful gaze of multiple mothers and aunts, learning vital skills through imitation and shared experience. This communal upbringing ensures that every cub benefits from the wisdom and protection of the entire pride. Male lions, often brothers or close relatives, form powerful coalitions. Together they patrol the pride's territory, marking boundaries and confronting intruders with unwavering resolve. Their presence deters rival males and protects the pride's cubs from danger. Meanwhile, the lionesses continue their silent coordination, stalking through the tall grass, each step calculated, each movement a part of a larger strategy. The pride's survival depends on this seamless cooperation, both in defense and in the hunt. Cape buffalo herds are formidable in their unity. Each member remains vigilant, scanning the horizon for any sign of danger. When a calf is threatened by predators, the herd responds with astonishing speed and coordination. Adults surge forward, forming an impenetrable wall of muscle and horn. Sometimes the entire herd charges as one, scattering lions and rescuing their young from certain death. This collective defense is a powerful deterrent, forged by generations of shared struggle. African wild dogs are masters of teamwork. Each hunt is a carefully orchestrated pursuit, with every pack member playing a specific role. Some chase, others flank, and a few block escape routes. After a successful hunt, the spoils are distributed not by dominance, but by need. Pups and injured adults are fed first, a rare display of selflessness in the animal kingdom. This unwavering cooperation ensures that even the weakest members have a chance to thrive. Across the Mara, a tapestry of social structures unfolds. Herds of antelope, prides of lions, and troops of baboons each navigate the landscape in their own way, shaped by the demands of their environment. These groups offer more than just safety. They increase the odds of finding food, provide warmth on cold nights, and create opportunities for the young to learn from their elders. Whether it's a herd moving as one across the open plains, or a pack coordinating a complex hunt, the ability to communicate and cooperate is essential. Subtle signals, a flick of an ear, a warning call, a shift in posture, convey vital information, allowing these animals to adapt instantly to changing circumstances and threats. In this unpredictable land, unity is more than a tactic. It is the very foundation of existence. For the animals of the Masai Mara, survival is a shared journey, where every member plays a part, and the strength of the group is as vital as tooth or claw in the ongoing struggle for life. In the heart of the Mara, a silent drama unfolds each day, one that is crucial to the survival of the entire ecosystem. Scavengers, often overlooked in the grand spectacle of predator and prey, are the unsung custodians of the savannah. Their presence ensures that the cycle of life continues unbroken, as they swiftly descend upon the remains of fallen animals, preventing the landscape from becoming a graveyard of decay. High above the golden plains, vultures ride the thermals, their keen eyesight scanning for the faintest glimmer of exposed flesh. With a single sighting, the sky comes alive as dozens converge, spiraling downward in a coordinated ballet. On the ground, their hooked beaks and bald heads are perfectly adapted for tearing through flesh, allowing them to feed efficiently and avoid the mess of blood and gore clinging to feathers. Each vulture species brings a unique skill to the table. The white-backed vulture, with its slender bill, expertly strips away softer tissues, while the robust, lappet-faced vulture uses its formidable beak to tear through hide and sinew that others cannot manage. Hooded vultures, smaller and more agile, dart in to snatch morsels from between bones. This remarkable division of labour ensures that every edible scrap is consumed, leaving only the barest skeleton behind. As the feast continues, marabou storks stride in, their massive bills probing deep into the carcass for hidden scraps. Their patience and precision allow them to reach what others cannot. Nearby, hyenas join the gathering, their powerful jaws easily shattering bones to access the rich marrow within. Even the toughest remains are no match for these tenacious scavengers. Occasionally, a lion may return to the scene, but by then the bulk of the carcass has been expertly dismantled, leaving little to reclaim. The aftermath is striking. Where once a carcass lay, Now only a few scattered bones remain, the grassland cleansed of decay. This meticulous cleanup is more than just a matter of tidiness. It is a vital process that recycles nutrients back into the soil, nourishing the grasses that sustain herds of herbivores. The efficiency of scavengers ensures that the savanna remains vibrant and productive, season after season. Without these natural recyclers, the consequences would be dire. Carcasses left to rot would attract swarms of flies, their larvae spreading rapidly through the remains. The air would fill with the stench of decay, and the risk of disease would skyrocket. Pathogens like anthrax and rabies could flourish, threatening not only wildlife, but the entire balance of the ecosystem. Through their tireless efforts, scavengers form the final, indispensable link in the Mara's food chain. Their work is invisible, yet essential, ensuring that life on the savanna remains healthy, resilient, and ever-renewing. In this vast and wild kingdom, it is the scavengers who quietly uphold the promise of renewal, turning death into life and maintaining the extraordinary balance of this remarkable ecosystem. As dusk settles over the Masai Mara, the golden light reveals a landscape shaped by millennia of migration and survival. Wildebeest gather in vast herds, their silhouettes etched against the horizon, while antelope graze in the fading warmth. Yet beyond this tranquil scene, the Mara faces a new era of uncertainty, one where the ancient rhythms of life are disrupted by forces never before encountered. Lions, once rulers of boundless territories, now patrol fragmented grasslands, their prides confined to shrinking patches of wilderness. A solitary male moves through the sparse savanna, his domain reduced by encroaching change. Nearby, a cheetah perches atop a termite mound, her gaze fixed on a distant gazelle herd. The cover that once concealed predator and prey alike is vanishing, forcing both to adapt their ancient strategies for survival. The dry season now stretches longer than memory, transforming rivers into ribbons of cracked earth. Wildebeest and zebra cluster around the last remaining waterholes, their bodies pressed together in silent desperation. Buffalo and giraffe, driven by thirst, wander across dust-choked plains, their hooves stirring clouds that hang in the relentless sun. Each drop of water becomes a prize, intensifying the daily struggle and reshaping the delicate balance of life. Elephants, their tusks broken and worn, move silently through the twilight, their matriarchs guiding herds across a landscape scarred by loss. Rhinos graze in the half-light, their horns bearing the marks of survival in a world shadowed by poaching. Overhead, vultures circle, ever watchful for the weak or fallen. For these giants, every day is a test of endurance against threats both natural and man-made. Yet hope endures. In protected corridors, wildlife moves freely once more. Herds of wildebeest and zebra traverse restored grasslands, their numbers swelling as calves race beside their mothers. These rejuvenated habitats, painstakingly brought back from the brink, offer a glimpse of what is possible when nature is given space to heal. In the shadows, a leopard rests, her coat dappled by filtered sunlight, while a hyena edges warily toward a waterhole, alert to every sound. Giraffes stretch their necks to browse on acacia leaves, and at dawn, flocks of birds rise in a chorus that signals the start of a new day. Conservationists, ever vigilant, track these elusive creatures, gathering data to understand their movements and the subtle shifts in the ecosystem. Their work is a race against time, requiring constant adaptation as the environment transforms. The Mara's landscape is a tapestry of contrasts, Lush grasslands give way to arid stretches, and shallow rivers become lifelines for migrating herds. Elephants gather at newly restored waterholes, their trunks raised in greeting, while hippos wallow in the cool embrace of the river. These scenes are testament to the resilience of life, but also a reminder that survival depends on the health of the land and the unbroken flow of natural cycles. As the sun rises, lion cubs tumble through the grass, their playful energy a symbol of hope. Impala leap through the tall blades, and ostriches stride purposefully across the open plain. Each morning brings renewal, a chance for the Mara's inhabitants to adapt and endure. The future of this extraordinary kingdom rests not only on their resilience, but on our unwavering commitment to protect and preserve these wonders, ensuring that the story of the Mara continues for generations yet to come. As the first rays of sunlight spill across the Masai Mara, the vast grasslands awaken beneath a gentle golden haze. The air is cool and still, carrying the faint scent of dew and earth, while the horizon glows with the promise of a new day. In the shadowy undergrowth and tangled thickets beneath ancient acacia trees, life stirs quietly. Silhouettes shift in the half-light, furtive movements betraying the presence of creatures both cautious and curious, each one poised at the threshold of morning. A lioness, vigilant and tender, gently nudges her cubs awake. Their small faces emerge from the tall grass, eyes blinking against the brilliance of dawn. The cubs stretch and yawn, their soft fur catching the sun's first warmth as they huddle close to their mother's side, safe for now in her protective embrace. Not far away, a matriarchal herd of elephants forms a living fortress around a newborn calf. The tiny elephant, still unsteady, reaches out with its trunk, awkward and searching, while older siblings and aunts gently guide it, their trunks brushing reassuringly over its back. The family's low rumbles echo across the plain, a language of comfort and unity. In a patch of open grassland, the earth stirs as ostrich chicks break free from their sandy nest. Downy and uncertain, they wobble on spindly legs, their mother towering above them, her keen eyes scanning the horizon for any sign of danger. Each chick's first steps are watched with unwavering vigilance, for survival here is never guaranteed. The morning mist lingers as impala fawns, barely hours old, attempt their first tentative steps. Their legs tremble beneath them, but instinct drives them forward. Around them, adult impalas form a protective ring, ears twitching at every sound, ready to defend their vulnerable young from unseen threats lurking in the grass. Across the savannah, the delicate balance of life is on full display. Predators and prey share the same golden fields, each species attuned to the rhythms of survival. Lions watch from the shadows, while antelopes graze with wary glances, every heartbeat a reminder of the fragile truce that dawn brings. Young cheetahs, their coats dappled with faint spots, burst into playful sprints across the open plain. Each chase is a lesson, muscles strengthening, reflexes sharpening, as they learn the skills that will one day determine their fate. Their games are both practice and preparation, a rehearsal for the relentless chase that defines their kind. In the safety of a troop, baboon infants cling tightly to their mother's fur. Wide-eyed and inquisitive, they reach out to touch leaves and stones, exploring a world brimming with both wonder and risk. Older juveniles leap from branch to branch, their playful shrieks echoing through the trees as they test the boundaries of their newfound independence. Even the smallest inhabitants play vital roles in this ecosystem. Dung beetles laboriously roll their precious cargo across the savanna, shaping the soil and nourishing the land. After the rains, tiny froglets emerge from puddles, their delicate bodies glistening as they begin their perilous journey into the undergrowth, each one a crucial link in the chain of life. Every birth here is a triumph, a testament to the resilience required to survive in this untamed wilderness. Newborns, still trembling from the effort of arrival, stand bravely on uncertain legs, their first breaths drawing in the wildness of the Mara. Each tentative step is a leap of faith, a bold venture into a world where every moment is both opportunity and challenge. The young leap and stumble, learning quickly that hesitation can mean the difference between life and death. As the sun climbs higher, the Mara comes alive with movement and sound. Herds traverse the plains, birds call from the treetops, and the pulse of new life beats strong beneath the midday sky. The energy of youth infuses the landscape, a living testament to the cycle of renewal. In every direction, families move together, generations bound by instinct and necessity. As dusk approaches, the savanna glows with the promise of continuity, a silent vow that, despite the ever-present dangers, life in the Mara will endure, one generation after another. Beneath the grandeur of towering giraffes, whose shadows stretch across the golden plains, and the silent tread of prowling lions, an intricate world thrives at ground level, often overlooked, yet essential to the savanna's pulse. Here, the grass itself becomes a forest for the miniature, a labyrinth alive with movement and purpose. As sunlight filters through the tall grasses, thousands of ants march in precise columns, each individual carrying burdens many times its own weight. Their relentless procession carves invisible highways, connecting food sources to their hidden colonies below. Above these subterranean architects, termites construct vast earthen mounds, their jaws shaping the soil grain by grain. Their spires rise like miniature skyscrapers, each one a fortress sheltering millions, with intricate tunnels that regulate temperature and humidity, ensuring survival through the harshest seasons. Along the muddy banks, dung beetles toil with unwavering determination, rolling and shaping their precious finds into perfect spheres. With powerful legs, they maneuver these balls across uneven terrain, sometimes facing fierce competition from rivals. Their efforts are tireless, driven by instinct and necessity. Once buried, these nutrient-rich treasures fertilize the soil, breaking down waste and returning vital elements to the earth. The result is a rejuvenated landscape, where the roots of grasses grow deep and strong, anchoring the plains and feeding the herds above. Hidden in the dew-laden undergrowth, butterflies emerge at dawn, their wings glistening with droplets. Each delicate pattern is a masterpiece of evolution, blending camouflage and beauty. Their colours echo the wildflowers that bloom after rare rains, signalling the brief abundance that follows a storm. Above the grasses, dragonflies hover and dart, their wings catching the light in flashes of iridescence. They patrol the air with precision, hunting smaller insects in mid-flight. Their aerial acrobatics are both a spectacle and a vital link in the food chain, controlling populations and providing food for birds and amphibians. As dusk falls, the savanna transforms. At night, a new chorus emerges from the darkness. Crickets and katydids fill the air with their rhythmic calls, each species contributing its own unique note to the nocturnal symphony. Their songs serve as both lullaby and warning, signalling territory, attracting mates, and alerting others to danger. In the shadows, spiders emerge to weave silken traps between blades of grass. their movements deliberate and precise. By morning, their webs glisten with dew, capturing both the light and the unwary insects drawn by the promise of a new day. Even deeper, the tiniest creatures, mites, beetles, and earthworms, work tirelessly beneath the surface, unseen but indispensable. They break down fallen leaves and animal remains, recycling nutrients and building the very foundation of the ecosystem, grain by grain. Each of these small lives, invisible to many, is a vital thread in the tapestry of the savannah. Together they form the living fabric that binds the land, their collective efforts supporting every blade of grass and every towering beast. In their quiet persistence, these unsung workers sustain the giants above, elephants, buffalo and antelope, by maintaining the health of the land itself. Their constant movement shapes the destiny of the plains, transforming landscapes over days, seasons and generations. The Mara's true strength lies not only in its predators and herds, but in the resilience and ingenuity of its smallest inhabitants. This silent symphony, composed by ants, beetles, butterflies, and countless others, plays on day and night, season after season. They are nature's unsung architects and caretakers, quietly ensuring that life in the savannah endures, flourishes, and evolves. As the golden sun dips toward the horizon, the savannah is bathed in a warm amber glow. Shadows stretch long across the grasslands, and the air cools, signalling the approach of night. The landscape transforms before our eyes. Herds of antelope and zebra become silhouettes against the fading light, while the distant calls of birds and the low rumble of distant hooves echo across the plains. This is the hour when the ancient drama of predator and prey comes alive, played out on nature's grandest stage. Every creature is on edge. Ears swivel to catch the faintest whisper of movement. An impala's ear twitches at the sound of grass brushing against a hidden paw, while a cheetah's senses sharpen, attuned to the subtlest tremor in the earth. Eyes, wide and unblinking, scan the horizon for the slightest flicker of motion. For prey, a single misplaced step could mean disaster. For predators, a moment's hesitation could mean another night without food. In the tall grass, a solitary cheetah crouches low, her body pressed close to the earth. Muscles ripple beneath her spotted coat, coiled and ready to explode into action at any instant. Her amber gaze is fixed on a herd of impalas, their heads down as they graze, unaware of the danger lurking just beyond the veil of grass. The cheetah's breathing slows, every fibre of her being focused on the hunt. The air is thick with anticipation. Each heartbeat is a silent drumbeat, echoing the countdown to the chase. The impalas pause, sensing a shift in the wind, nostrils flaring as they test the air for the scent of danger. Suddenly the stillness shatters. The cheetah bursts from her cover in a blur of speed, and the impalas erupt into motion, scattering in every direction. Dust rises in swirling clouds as hooves pound the earth. The impalas leap and zigzag, their bodies twisting mid-air in a desperate bid to evade capture. Each movement is a testament to generations of survival, instincts honed by countless chases. The cheetah accelerates, her slender frame slicing through the grass with astonishing speed. Muscles stretch and contract in perfect harmony, propelling her forward at over 60 miles per hour. Her tail flicks with each stride, acting as a rudder to maintain balance as she weaves through the chaos, closing the gap with every bound. For a fleeting moment, predator and prey move in perfect synchrony, each reading the other's intentions, each pushing their bodies to the limit. The impala twists sharply, the cheetah mirrors the move. It is a contest of reflexes and endurance, a battle where only the most agile survive. Elsewhere, beneath the cover of tall grass, a pride of lions stalks a much larger quarry. Their golden coats blend seamlessly with the savannah, making them nearly invisible to the untrained eye. The buffalo herd senses the threat. Instinctively, they form a defensive phalanx, massive horns pointed outward, calves pressed safely at the centre of the living fortress. The lions fan out, each member taking up a strategic position. Patience is their greatest weapon, as they wait for the weakest or most distracted buffalo to stray from the group. The standoff is tense. Lions crouch low, eyes fixed on the herd, while buffaloes snort and stamp, ready to defend their own. Every muscle is taut, every sense alert. It is a silent war of nerves, a battle fought as much with patience and strategy as with strength and speed. Then, with a signal imperceptible to all but the pride, the lions surge forward. Dust billows, hooves thunder, and the herd erupts into chaos as predators and prey collide in a storm of movement. The savannah bears witness to a struggle as old as time, each side fighting with everything it has, the outcome uncertain until the very last moment. Not every hunt ends in triumph. Exhausted, a cheetah collapses in the grass, sides heaving, her quarry lost to the safety of the herd. In the crook of an acacia tree, a leopard lies motionless, her spotted coat blending perfectly with the dappled light. She waits, patient and silent, for an opportunity that may never come. Below, a herd of zebras passes just out of reach, their stripes a living camouflage against the shifting grass. On the periphery, hyenas lurk, ever watchful for a lapse in vigilance. These opportunists prowl the outskirts, searching for scraps or a moment of weakness to exploit. Warthogs, ever wary, dart from burrow to burrow, their tails held high as they scurry across open ground, alert to every sound and shadow. Overhead, the shadow of a raptor glides silently across the grass. Warthogs freeze, eyes skyward, ready to vanish at the first sign of danger from above. Every encounter on the savannah is a test of strategy and instinct. Predator and prey face off, each adapting to the other's moves in a never-ending contest of survival. Prey animals have evolved keen senses, cryptic coloration, and lightning-fast reflexes. An antelope melts into the grass, its coat a perfect match for the golden blades, while its muscles twitch, ready to spring away at the slightest threat. Predators, in turn, refine their techniques with each generation. Some, like the leopard, rely on stealth, moving with painstaking care, each step calculated to avoid detection. Others, such as wild dogs and lions, depend on stamina and teamwork, coordinating their efforts to outmaneuver and exhaust their quarry. The cycle of pursuit and escape is relentless. Hunger drives the chase, hope fuels the flight, and every encounter leaves its mark on the savannah's inhabitants. In these fleeting moments, when time seems to stand still, victory and defeat are decided in the blink of an eye. Exhausted faces tell the story, a predator's hunger unsatisfied, a prey animal's heart pounding with relief. There is no malice here, only the unyielding drive to survive. The savannah is a place of hardship and perseverance, where every creature must endure the challenges of the wild to see another day. The Mara's delicate balance depends on this ceaseless contest. Every chase, every narrow escape, and every hard-won meal maintains the intricate web of life. Across the savannah, footprints crisscross the earth, evidence of countless journeys, struggles and triumphs. Each track weaves another thread in the ever-evolving tapestry of life, a testament to the resilience and beauty of Kenya's predator kingdom. As the sun dips below the horizon, the savannah is bathed in a final wash of gold and indigo. Shadows stretch across the plains, and the familiar world of daylight slowly dissolves into a realm ruled by darkness. Under the rising moon, the savannah transforms. Silhouettes drift through the silvered grass, and the air grows thick with anticipation. The night belongs to those who thrive in secrecy, creatures whose senses are sharpened for the hours when most eyes are closed. As the last traces of sunlight fade, the landscape becomes a tapestry of muted colours and shifting shadows. Every rustle and whisper is magnified, and the ground itself seems to breathe with hidden life. From the tangled undergrowth, a pair of luminous eyes catch the moon's reflection. The African civet, cloaked in stripes and secrecy, moves with practiced caution. Its body melts into the dappled shadows, every muscle attuned to the subtle sounds of the night. The civet's sensitive nose sweeps the forest floor, searching for beetles, fallen fruit, and the faintest scent of opportunity. Each step is deliberate, its paws barely disturbing the leaf litter as it navigates the labyrinth of roots and thorns. High above, a bush baby springs from branch to branch, its enormous eyes glowing like lanterns in the starlit canopy. With astonishing agility, it calculates each leap, landing silently on slender twigs as it hunts for insects and sweet tree sap. Across a shallow pool, the chorus of frogs rises in a symphony of croaks and trills. Their voices mask the gentle flutter of wings as a fishing owl glides low over the water, its broad wings casting fleeting shadows on the shimmering surface. With a sudden, silent descent, the owl's talons pierce the water, emerging moments later with a wriggling fish clutched tight. The predator's precision is matched only by its silence, leaving barely a ripple behind. On the open plain, a small spotted genet weaves through the tall grass, its tail held high like a feathered banner. The genet's movements are fluid and purposeful, its keen senses tuned to the faintest rustle of a rodent hiding beneath the cover of darkness. Along a narrow path, a porcupine ambles, its quills glinting in the moonlight. The air vibrates with the clicks and trills of countless insects, each one playing its part in the nocturnal orchestra. The porcupine pauses to sniff the ground, then continues its slow, determined journey. In the distance, a hyena lifts its head and releases a haunting whoop that echoes across the plains. The call is answered by distant kin, their silhouettes gathering beneath the stars. For the hyena clan, the night is a time of opportunity and relentless search for sustenance. The great predators, too, are drawn into the night's embrace. Lions and leopards slip through the darkness, their movements almost invisible, their senses heightened for the hunt. A lioness, her golden coat now a muted shadow, stalks with practiced stealth. Her ears swivel to catch the faintest sound, and her eyes, adapted for low light, scan for the slightest movement. Each step brings her closer to her quarry, the tension in her body barely contained. Elsewhere, aardvarks emerge from their burrows, their long snouts probing the earth for termites and ants. With powerful claws, they dig into anthills, feasting on the bounty hidden beneath the soil, their solitary figures moving methodically through the moonlit grass. Throughout the savannah, every creature is alert. Ears twitch, noses test the air, and eyes scan the darkness for signs of danger or opportunity. The night is a delicate balance of risk and reward, where survival depends on vigilance and instinct. In this vibrant nocturnal world, life pulses in secret rhythms. Beneath the vast, star-studded sky, the savanna's night shift unfolds, a living testament that the wild never truly sleeps. It merely changes its cast, its stage, and the stories written in the darkness. As the first blush of dawn stretches across the horizon, the savanna awakens in a gentle crescendo of light and sound. Birds call from hidden perches, and the golden grasses shimmer with dew, each blade catching the promise of a new day. Yet, beneath this tranquil surface, an invisible force exerts its influence. Climate, ever-shifting and silent, orchestrates the fate of every creature and plant. The once reliable rhythm of rainfall now stutters and hesitates. Clouds gather and disperse unpredictably, sometimes releasing precious water, sometimes passing by, leaving the earth thirsting for relief. Rivers that once carved lifelines through the plains dwindle to mere memories, cracked earth tracing the ghostly paths where water once flowed. At shrinking watering holes, tension mounts. Herds of antelope, buffalo and warthog gather in uneasy truce, each animal's thirst outweighing its fear of predators lurking nearby. In the wavering heat, zebra and wildebeest form restless columns, their hooves stirring dust as they search for greener pastures. The air shimmers, distorting the horizon, as the herds press onward in a relentless quest for survival. Their ancient migration routes, once dictated by the steady pulse of the seasons, now shift in response to parched grasslands and the distant promise of rain. Thunderheads on the horizon become beacons of hope, guiding the movement of thousands. Across the brittle landscape, elephants, wise matriarchs leading their families, probe the earth with sensitive trunks, reading the land for hidden moisture. With patience and memory, they dig into the dry riverbeds, unearthing pockets of water that sustain not only themselves, but countless other species drawn to their ingenuity. The matriarch's knowledge, passed down through generations, is a living map, guiding her herd across vast distances to secret springs and hidden seeps. When they find these rare sources, the herd drinks deeply, savouring the coolness that lies beneath the sun-baked crust. But even these sanctuaries are not immune. Drought can claim them, leaving only the tracks of desperate animals pressed into the hardened mud. Giraffes, towering above the plains, stretch their necks into the thorny crowns of acacia trees, seeking the last tender leaves that cling to life. Each mouthful is hard-won as the relentless sun withers foliage and the competition for food intensifies. For predators, adaptation is a matter of survival. They move with calculated caution, ever alert to the shifting patterns of prey. Cheetahs, their coats aglow in the morning light, rest in the tall grass, conserving energy for the perfect moment to strike. As prey becomes scarce, they expand their hunting grounds, venturing into unfamiliar territory in search of opportunity. The delicate equilibrium between hunter and hunted is disrupted. Every encounter is fraught with tension, as both sides adapt to the new rules written by the climate. Each species improvises, some changing their diets, others altering their daily routines, demonstrating remarkable resilience in the face of adversity. Yet the savanna is not always a place of hardship. When the rains finally arrive, they bring transformation. Parched plains erupt in a sudden flush of green. Grasses surge skyward, and wildflowers paint the landscape in vibrant hues. Frogs, dormant for months, emerge from their burrows, their skin glistening in the damp air. Their chorus rises in jubilant waves, a celebration of renewal that echoes across the wetlands. Butterflies, drawn by the sudden abundance, flutter from blossom to blossom, their wings flashing in the sunlight as they pollinate the brief explosion of flowers. Dung beetles seize the moment, rolling their precious cargo across the moist earth, ensuring that nutrients are returned to the soil. Their tireless work sustains the cycle of life, breaking down waste and enriching the ground for the next generation of growth. Through drought and deluge, the climate's silent hand shapes every destiny, testing the limits of endurance, demanding adaptation, and rewarding resilience. The sky itself becomes a stage for drama. Clouds racing, winds shifting, and animals responding in kind, each moment a testament to survival. In this vast, ever-changing theatre, life and weather are inseparable, each shaping the other in a dance as old as the land itself. Every gust of wind, every drop of rain is echoed in the lives of Kenya's wild, an unending story of challenge, adaptation, and hope. As dawn breaks over the golden savanna and the dense thickets of Kenya, the wilderness awakens with a language invisible to the human eye, yet vital to every creature that calls this land home. Here, beneath the soft glow of sunrise, a silent conversation begins, woven from countless signals, scents and sounds that ripple through the air. Each hoofprint pressed into the dew-laden grass, each subtle shift in posture becomes a message. Antelope, zebra and warthog alike read these signs, decoding the stories left behind by those who passed before them. In this world, survival is not just about keen eyesight or sharp hearing, but about the ability to interpret and respond to the ever-changing chorus of the wild. A herd of impalas, grazing peacefully, suddenly freezes. Their ears swivel, catching the distant guttural bark of a baboon troop perched high in the acacia trees. The impalas know this call well. It is a warning, a signal that danger prowls nearby. Instantly, tension ripples through the herd. Muscles tighten, eyes widen, and the impalas stand poised to flee. The baboon's alarm is not just for its own kind. It is a broadcast, a lifeline extended to all who share this patch of grassland. Nearby, zebras and wildebeest graze side by side. A zebra flicks its tail sharply, nostrils flaring as it snorts, a subtle cue that ripples through the mixed herd. The wildebeest, attuned to these signals, lift their heads, scanning the horizon for threats. In this intricate ballet, every glance, every twitch of an ear is a piece of a larger puzzle. Eyes dart, nostrils quiver, and instincts sharpen as animals collectively tune into the shared frequency of survival. At a muddy waterhole, a group of buffalo stands shoulder to shoulder, their massive forms unmoving. Suddenly, oxpeckers flutter down, landing atop the buffalo's broad backs. Their arrival is more than a search for insects. It is the start of a new conversation. The oxpeckers' sharp calls pierce the morning air, alerting not only their buffalo hosts, but also a group of warthogs rooting nearby. Heads snap up, ears perk, and the warthogs freeze, sensing the urgency in the bird's alarm. A lioness is on the move, her presence betrayed by the vigilant oxpeckers. Sometimes it is the absence of sound that carries the greatest weight. A flock of birds, moments ago chattering and fluttering, falls silent in unison. The hush spreads like a shadow, and every creature within earshot feels the tension thicken. In the tall grass, lions move with practiced stealth, their golden coats blending seamlessly with the landscape. The silence is their ally, masking their approach as they melt into the shadows, unseen but deeply felt. Far from the drama of the hunt, elephants communicate in a language all their own. With low, resonant rumbles, They send messages that travel not just through the air, but through the very ground beneath their feet. These deep vibrations are felt by distant herds, prompting a subtle shift in movement. Even a solitary rhino, grazing on the edge of the savannah, pauses, alerted to unseen obstacles or distant gatherings by the tremors beneath its feet. Giraffes, towering above the grasslands, engage in a quieter dialogue. They mirror each other's posture, their long necks swaying in unison. A graceful dance that signals reassurance, or, at times, caution. A gentle tilt of the neck, a slow blink, and the message is sent. All is well, or danger may be near. These gestures, subtle yet unmistakable, maintain harmony within the herd. In the tangled undergrowth, a family of mongoose chirps in rapid succession. Their high-pitched calls are both a greeting and a warning, keeping the group tightly knit and alert to any threat. Overhead, a shadow glides across the grass. Guinea fowl, ever watchful, catch sight of an eagle circling above. The mongoose calls shift in pitch, and the guinea fowl respond, heads snapping upward, bodies tensed for flight. In an instant, the grass erupts with movement. Birds take to the sky in a flurry of wings, while small mammals dart for cover, each responding to the invisible thread of warning that binds them together. Across the plains, alliances are forged in these fleeting exchanges. Wildebeest, zebra, and antelope gather in loose associations, their vigilance multiplied by the diversity of eyes and ears. Each call, each gesture, is a thread in the vast tapestry of survival. From the flick of a tail to the chorus of alarm calls, every signal is woven into the fabric of daily life. This web of communication is not static. It evolves with every generation as young animals watch and learn from their elders, adapting their own signals to the ever-changing challenges of the wild. Family groups, from elephants to meerkats, pass down these lessons, ensuring that the wisdom of the past endures in a landscape shaped by constant change. In the vastness of Kenya's wilderness, understanding flows not from words, but from an ancient code, one that is read in glances, felt in vibrations, and shared in silence. Predator and prey, bird and mammal, all are bound by this code. It is a language as old as the land itself, connecting every creature in a delicate balance of risk and reward. As the sun rises and the savannah comes alive with calls and songs, the whispers of the wilderness guide each step, each decision. In this symphony of voices, some heard, some felt, life endures, ever adapting, ever connected. Beneath the grandeur of Kenya's towering acacias, where the first rays of sunlight spill across the land, a hidden world awakens. In the vastness of the savannah, grasses ripple in the morning breeze, but below this gentle movement, an unseen nation labours with relentless purpose. Insects, minuscule in form, yet numbering in the billions, are the silent architects of this ecosystem, orchestrating a symphony of life beneath every blade of grass. As dawn's golden light seeps through the grass, columns of termites emerge from their subterranean fortresses, each one driven by instinct and duty. Every worker carries a single grain of soil, a seemingly insignificant task, yet together their collective effort is monumental. Over time, these tireless builders sculpt sprawling mounds, complex structures that rise from the earth like miniature citadels, engineered with intricate tunnels and chambers. These mounds ventilate the soil, channeling air deep underground, and their presence nourishes the roots of nearby trees, creating a vital link between insect and plant. Around each mound, the earth is transformed, lush grasses and vibrant plants flourish, forming islands of fertility in the midst of the savanna. These fertile oases offer sanctuary to a host of creatures. Reptiles bask in the sun atop the mounds, birds perch in search of insects, and elusive mongooses patrol the perimeter, all drawn by the abundance created by termites. Across the open plains, dung beetles embark on their daily quest, rolling perfectly formed balls of dung with astonishing strength and determination. With unwavering focus, they bury their cargo beneath the soil, recycling waste and infusing the earth with nutrients essential for plant growth. By clearing dung from the surface, these beetles open pathways for herds of wildebeest and zebra, ensuring the grasslands remain accessible and healthy for grazers. Their efforts return vital nutrients to the land, enriching the soil and setting the stage for the next flush of green growth. After the rains, new shoots burst forth, fueled by the invisible work of these tireless recyclers, and the savanna is reborn in a tapestry of green. In tangled thickets, ants display remarkable teamwork, linking their bodies to form living bridges across gaps and obstacles. They ferry food back to their colonies, and when threatened, unite to repel invaders, defending their realm with coordinated precision. Their constant patrols keep leaf-munching pests at bay, acting as vigilant guardians for the plants they inhabit. In exchange, the bushes thrive, their leaves vibrant and healthy, protected by their six-legged allies. Butterflies and bees, adorned in vivid colours, flit gracefully from blossom to blossom, their movements both delicate and purposeful. As they feed, their wings become dusted with pollen, transforming them into living couriers of genetic material. Driven by the search for nectar, they connect distant plants, weaving together the destinies of countless species across the landscape. Their tireless journeys ensure the next generation of trees, shrubs and wildflowers, sustaining the diversity and beauty of the savanna. Even the humble grasshopper, often overlooked amid the bustle, plays a vital role in this living tapestry. As it feeds, the grasshopper's movements stir the grasslands, prompting new growth and creating opportunities for other creatures. Insectivorous birds are drawn to the feast, their sharp eyes scanning for movement, while the grazed grasses respond with a flush of tender shoots. As darkness falls, fireflies emerge, their bodies pulsing with bioluminescent light, transforming the night into a realm of silent communication. Each flash is a coded signal, a secret language of light that guides mates together through the shadows, unseen by predators. Meanwhile, crickets and cicadas fill the night air with their rhythmic chorus, a living soundtrack that ebbs and flows with the temperature and the hour. Their songs mark the passage of time, a pulse that connects every creature to the rhythm of the wild. Beneath the surface, insects toil unseen, burrowing, decomposing, and aerating the soil, their movements vital to the health of the land. They are the recyclers, the pollinators, the builders, each species performing a unique role that sustains the intricate balance of the wild. Without their quiet industry, the savanna would falter. The soil would grow barren, flowers would wither, and the web of life would begin to unravel. Depleted earth, diminished blooms, and sparse grass would replace the vibrant abundance that now thrives. In every flutter of wings, every crawl across the earth, and every hum in the air, the insect nation leaves its mark, subtle yet profound. Their unseen labour shapes the fate of all who walk, fly, and stalk the wilds of Kenya, ensuring that life here endures, season after season, in a delicate, enduring balance. Across Kenya's wild expanse, water is more than a resource. It is the lifeblood that binds every creature to the land. From the sky, the savannah stretches endlessly, its golden grasses and scattered acacias tracing the contours of ancient riverbeds and hidden springs. These veins of water carve the landscape, shaping the destinies of all who dwell here. The Mara River, winding through the heart of the wilderness, is a magnet for life. Along its banks and at scattered seasonal pools, animals converge in a daily pilgrimage. Each drop is precious, drawing creatures from miles around in a timeless ritual of survival, where the rhythm of arrival and departure is dictated by thirst and instinct. As the first warmth of day stirs the plains, a herd of elephants emerges from the morning mist. Their massive forms move with purpose, guided by memory to a familiar muddy waterhole. The matriarch leads, her steps deliberate, as younger elephants follow in her wake, eager for the promise of cool relief. At the water's edge, trunks unfurl with astonishing dexterity. The adults draw up gallons of water, spraying it over sun-baked skin to ward off the heat and insects. Calves, less practiced, splash and tumble in the mud, their playful antics a momentary escape from the harshness of the dry season. Nearby, a cautious congregation of zebras and antelopes waits their turn. Their ears flick and nostrils flare, alert to every ripple in the water. Beneath the surface, crocodiles lie in ambush, their ancient eyes just above the waterline, patient and motionless, waiting for a moment of vulnerability. At the river's edge, hippos claim their domain. Their immense bodies are almost entirely submerged, only eyes and nostrils betraying their presence. The water shields their sensitive skin from the relentless sun, and their low grunts resonate across the surface, a warning to any who venture too close. Beneath the surface, fish weave between the pillars of hippo legs, seeking shelter from predators above and below. Overhead, a kingfisher perches, then dives in a blur of blue and orange, piercing the water with pinpoint accuracy to snatch a darting fish. Even the smallest creatures find sanctuary here. Frogs cling to slender reeds, their throats pulsing with quiet calls, while dragonflies skim the surface, their iridescent wings catching the morning light. Each is a vital thread in the intricate web of life that water sustains, yet the gift of water is fleeting. As the sun climbs higher and the days stretch on, waterholes shrink, their muddy edges curling into cracked mosaics. The receding waterline is a silent warning of the hardships to come. In the grip of the dry season, what remains becomes a crowded theatre. Animals jostle for space at shrinking pools, tension simmering between species. Every sip is a risk, every approach a negotiation between need and danger. Predators and prey gather side by side, drawn by thirst, yet separated by instinct. Lions linger at the periphery, their presence a constant threat, while antelopes and zebras drink in hurried bursts, always ready to flee. Across the parched savannah, herds travel for miles, dust rising in their wake. Guided by memory, scent, and the faint promise of moisture, they press on, their calls echoing across the cracked earth, a chorus of hope and desperation. Beneath the surface, unseen currents persist. Water flows quietly through sand and stone, nourishing roots and sustaining hidden life. Small fish dart among pebbles, their movements a testament to resilience in the face of scarcity. Aquatic plants sway gently, releasing oxygen and sheltering schools of fish. Otters slip through the clear water, hunting with agile grace, their presence a sign of a healthy, thriving ecosystem. On the muddy banks, turtles laboriously dig nests, burying eggs in the soft earth. In the thick reeds, a newborn antelope fawn lies hidden, its spotted coat blending perfectly with the shadows, safe from prowling eyes. Then, at last, the sky darkens and the first drops fall. A rainstorm sweeps across the plain, drumming on the thirsty earth. In moments, the transformation begins. Parched grasses spring to life, and the air fills with the scent of renewal. Torrents rush down riverbeds, filling pans and pools. Seeds that have lain dormant for months awaken, sending shoots skyward. The land, once brittle and brown, is reborn in a surge of green. The savannah erupts in vibrant colour. Herds gather at replenished waterholes, their numbers swelling as distant travellers return. Elephants trumpet, zebras whinny, and antelopes leap, each species celebrating the abundance that water brings. In every ripple and reflection, water shapes destinies. The mirrored sky and the silhouettes of animals at the water's edge are fleeting portraits of survival and renewal. Water is the silent architect of migration, the stage for life's dramas, and the unifying thread that weaves together the tapestry of Kenya's untamed heart. From the smallest frog to the mightiest elephant, every life here is written in the language of water, its scarcity, its abundance, and its eternal promise. When the rains fail to arrive, the land itself seems to hold its breath, every blade of grass curling inward, every tree standing silent against the sky. The once vibrant savannah transforms into a vast expanse of brittle earth and faded gold, the air heavy with anticipation and dust. Dust clouds swirl where rivers once carved their paths, now reduced to memory and cracked channels. The sun's relentless glare beats down, bleaching the landscape in harsh tones of gold and grey, each day hotter and drier than the last. For Kenya's wildlife, drought is the ultimate test, a crucible that separates the resilient from the rest. Herds thin as the weakest fall behind, and every creature is forced to confront the limits of endurance. A pride of lions, their tawny coats dulled by dust and heat, cluster beneath the sparse shade of an acacia. The ground beneath them is bare, worn smooth by generations seeking relief from the sun's punishing rays. Waterholes, once teeming with life, have shrunk to muddy stains. The air above them shimmers with heat, mirages dancing on the horizon, promising water that never materializes. The lion's movements become languid, each step measured to conserve precious moisture. Panting, they lie motionless for hours, their bodies surrendering to the oppressive heat, waiting for the world to cool. As dusk approaches, the pride stirs. The air cools and the lions rise, muscles tense with anticipation. They hunt only when the sun dips low, timing their efforts for the fleeting hours when prey is most vulnerable and the risk of overheating is lowest. Out on the open plains, a herd of oryx moves with deliberate grace. Their pale coats reflect the sun, and their long legs carry them across the arid landscape, each step a testament to their mastery of survival in these harsh conditions. Oryx graze on the sparse, brittle grasses, their bodies adapted to extract every possible drop of moisture from the dry vegetation. Their kidneys concentrate urine, and their bodies tolerate high temperatures, allowing them to thrive where others falter. During the hottest hours, the oryx rest in the scant shade, nostrils filtering dust from the air. They position themselves to minimize exposure, conserving energy and water, their stillness a strategy for survival. Beneath the cracked surface, amphibians burrow deep into the earth. Encased in cocoons of hardened mud, they enter a state of suspended animation, their bodies slowing to a near halt as they wait out the drought. In this hidden world, time stretches. Only the distant rumble of thunder signals change. When the first rains finally fall, the amphibians awaken, emerging in a frenzy to breed in the ephemeral pools that dot the landscape for only a few precious days. High above, raptors and vultures circle on rising thermals. Their keen eyes scan the plains for any sign of weakness. An animal slowed by thirst, a carcass left behind by the struggle for survival. At the shrinking waterholes, tension mounts. Predators and prey converge, drawn by the same desperate need. Every visit is fraught with risk, as the boundaries between hunter and hunted blur in the face of scarcity. Crocodiles, masters of patience, retreat into the last muddy wallows, their bodies slow, entering a torpor that allows them to survive for months with little food, waiting for the rivers to swell and life to return. Even the mighty elephant, sculptor of the savannah, must adapt. Their massive forms move steadily across the dust-choked plains, each step a search for sustenance and water. Led by wise matriarchs, elephant herds traverse vast distances, guided by memories of ancient wells and hidden springs, lifelines passed down through generations. With powerful trunks and tusks, elephants dig deep into the earth, unearthing water that sustains not only their own herd, but also countless smaller animals that gather in their wake, drawn by the promise of life. Amidst the hardship, moments of resilience shine through. Animals adapt in ingenious ways, each species finding its own strategy to endure the relentless drought. A jackal, ever opportunistic, discovers sustenance in the remains of a failed hunt. Every scrap of nourishment is vital, and nothing goes to waste in this unforgiving season. At the edge of a shrinking pond, weaver birds gather. They weave intricate nests high in the reeds, safe from predators and rising waters, their bright plumage a rare splash of colour against the muted landscape. Life persists, tenacious, inventive, and ever watchful. Eyes turn skyward, searching for the first sign of storm clouds, for the scent of rain carried on the wind. In this season of scarcity, every day is a gamble. The gaunt forms of animals speak to the cost of survival, and the desperate search for water shapes every decision, every movement. But for those that endure, the drought becomes a lesson in patience, ingenuity, and hope. When the sky finally breaks and the first drops fall, the land exhales in relief. Life surges back, and the savannah is reborn, a testament to the resilience of all who call it home. Across the parched earth, the silhouettes of giraffes stretch toward a horizon painted with uncertainty and promise. Their elongated forms move slowly, each step stirring dust that glows in the fading light, a silent testament to endurance in a land where survival is never guaranteed. The Kenyan savannah sprawls beneath a sky streaked with clouds, its vastness interrupted only by scattered herds and the occasional lone wanderer. Here the future is a delicate balance, a landscape shaped by shifting rains, evolving habitats, and the silent march of time. Each patch of grass, each waterhole becomes a battleground for existence. As the seasons grow less predictable, the ancient rhythms that once governed migration and mating are rewritten. Herds move in restless patterns, their instincts challenged by the erratic pulse of the climate. The grasslands transform before their eyes, lush one month, barren the next, forcing every creature to adapt or perish. Wildebeest, once guided by the certainty of rainfall, now hesitate at the edge of cracked earth. Their leaders scan the horizon, searching for the faintest hint of green. The herds pause at unfamiliar boundaries, where grass no longer grows as it once did, and the promise of water is a distant memory. Yet adaptation is woven into the fabric of every creature here. From the smallest insect to the largest mammal, each has evolved strategies to meet the challenges of a changing world. Some shift their diets, others alter their daily routines, all united by the relentless drive to survive. Elephants, with memories spanning generations, lead their families along ancient trails now obscured by drought. Their trunks test the air for moisture, their feet sense vibrations beneath the soil. When familiar waterholes vanish, they carve new paths across the savannah, forging routes to hidden springs and distant forests, their determination unwavering. Lions, ever watchful, adjust their hunting grounds. They follow the ebb and flow of prey, drawn to the last vestiges of water, their golden eyes reflecting both hunger and patience. Each hunt is a calculated risk, as shrinking rivers force predator and prey into uneasy proximity. Even the smallest denizens, the termites and ants, alter their subterranean cities. During drought, termites reinforce their mounds, sealing in precious moisture. After sudden rains, ants race to rebuild, their colonies adapting to the unpredictable cycles of flood and famine. In the acacia canopy, birds experiment with nesting cycles, timing their broods to coincide with the brief flush of insects after rain. Their calls echo through the branches, a chorus of hope and resilience, signalling the possibility of renewal even in the harshest seasons. On the savanna floor, amphibians emerge from hidden burrows only when the rains return, their brief appearances timed to perfection. Reptiles bask at the water's edge, wary of both predators and the vanishing pools that sustain them. Each moment is a gamble, every movement a calculation in the game of survival. The Kenyan wilderness is a tapestry of interdependence, where every species, large and small, plays a role in maintaining balance. Predators keep herds healthy, grazers shape the land, and scavengers cleanse it. The greatest test lies ahead, preserving this fragile web that has sustained life for millennia. As habitats fragment and resources dwindle, the struggle intensifies. Animals gather around shrinking waterholes, their uneasy alliances forged by necessity. Competition grows fiercer, but so too does cooperation, as survival demands new forms of partnership. Zebras and wildebeest continue their age-old partnership, grazing side by side. Their different feeding habits unlock nutrients for the soil and for each other, a silent collaboration that enriches the land and sustains both herds through lean times. Scavengers, vultures, hyenas, jackals remain the silent custodians of balance. They clear the land of remains, curbing disease and recycling nutrients back into the ecosystem. Their work, often overlooked, is vital to the health of the savanna. No single species can endure alone. The solitary predator, the lone grazer, each is bound to the fate of the others. In this vast arena, survival is a collective endeavour, shaped by countless interactions and shared destinies. The future of Kenya's wildlife depends on the quiet resilience of the many. Each animal, from the smallest insect to the mightiest elephant, adapts, innovates, and finds new ways to coexist. Their stories are written in the tracks they leave behind, in the calls that echo at dusk, and in the silent determination that carries them forward. The land itself, ever patient, waits for the next chapter to unfold. Dusk settles over the plains, casting long shadows and bathing the savanna in a tranquil glow. The wilderness holds its breath, poised between what has been and what is yet to come. With each sunrise, uncertainty lingers, but so does the unyielding promise of life. The golden light reveals new possibilities, illuminating the resilience etched into every living thing. The story of survival continues, written not only in struggle, but in the hope that tomorrow's dawn will bring new beginnings across these untamed horizons. In the wild heart of Kenya, every day is a testament to adaptation, resilience, and the enduring spirit of life itself. Gap 2. As dawn breaks, golden rays spill across the savannah, igniting a subtle transformation beneath the grass. Hidden from view, a quiet revolution unfolds, one that will shape the destiny of Kenya's wild heart for generations yet unborn. The camera glides low, tracing the journey of a single acacia seed as it tumbles from a withered pod, carried by the gentle breath of the morning breeze. Its descent is not random, but guided by the unseen architects of renewal. Dung beetles, tireless and unnoticed, roll their precious cargo across the earth, burying both seed and sustenance in a pact as old as the land itself. Beneath the soil, the acacia seed lies dormant, encased in the darkness, waiting for the signal that the time is right. Overhead, elephants pass in slow procession, each step pressing seeds deeper into the ground. Their passage is both destructive and creative, breaking branches, clearing paths, but also sowing the future with every stride. As the rains return, the soil stirs. The seed's outer shell softens and a fragile shoot emerges, reaching instinctively for the light. Roots twist downward, seeking moisture, anchoring hope in the shifting earth. The acacia's first leaves unfurl, trembling in the gentle wind, a promise of shade, food and shelter for generations of creatures yet to come. Across the plains, the camera lingers on a mosaic of regeneration. Grass shoots pierce the cracked mud, painting the land with a faint veil of green. Herds of antelope graze carefully, their hooves stirring dormant seeds, their droppings fertilizing the rebirth. In the undergrowth, a leopard cub takes its first tentative steps, eyes wide to the world. Its mother watches from the shadows, her vigilance both lesson and legacy. Above, a flock of weaver birds gathers tufts of grass, weaving intricate nests that sway in the morning breeze. Each strand is a thread in the tapestry of survival, spun anew with every season. The lens shifts to a shallow pool where amphibian eggs shimmer in the filtered light. Tiny tadpoles wriggle, beginning the ancient metamorphosis from water to land. Dragonflies skim the surface, their wings catching the sun, delicate messengers of change. Life in all its forms surges forward, drawn by the invisible pull of renewal. As the day unfolds, the camera soars above the savannah, revealing a landscape alive with motion and intent. Every creature, every blade of grass is both a product of the past and a steward of the future. The legacy of Kenya's wilderness is not merely survival, but the ceaseless act of creation, of planting, nurturing, and passing on the seeds of tomorrow. Even as threats loom and challenges mount, the land endures, its resilience rooted in the silent work of countless lives. The story of Kenya's wildlife is not only written in the struggle for today, but in the quiet persistence that ensures there will be a tomorrow. As dusk approaches once more, the acacia sapling stands silhouetted against the sky, a living emblem of hope. The wild heart of Kenya beats on, its future sown in every seed, every step, and every sunrise yet to come. Beneath the sunlit grandeur of Kenya's plains, an unseen world pulses with life, a hidden network that sustains the wilderness above. As the camera plunges below the surface, the soil transforms into a teeming metropolis. Filaments of mycelium snake through the earth, weaving intricate connections between roots, stones, and decaying leaves. These fungal threads, finer than a strand of silk, form the silent backbone of the savanna's vitality. The lens narrows to reveal how a single acacia root tip glows faintly, embraced by a halo of mycorrhizal fungi. In a silent exchange, sugars travel from tree to fungus, while vital nutrients, phosphorus, nitrogen and water, flow back, nourishing the growing sapling above. This symbiosis is echoed 1,000-fold beneath every tuft of grass, every ancient baobab, every blossoming shrub. Nearby, a microscopic drama unfolds. A beetle larva burrows through the loam, its passage stirring clouds of bacteria and protozoa. As it feeds, it breaks down tough plant fibers, releasing nutrients that ripple outward in invisible waves. The camera magnifies further, revealing the ceaseless labour of decomposers, actinomycetes, earthworms and springtails dismantling the remnants of last season's growth. Their tireless work transforms decay into renewal, fueling the cycle of life from the ground up. In a patch of damp earth, a fungal fruiting body bursts forth overnight, a delicate toadstool rising with the dawn. Spores drift on the breeze, beginning journeys that may last days or decades before finding a home. Each spore carries the potential to knit new threads into the underground web, expanding the reach of these silent architects. The camera glides horizontally, tracing the path of a termite colony. Within their labyrinthine mound, a fungus garden flourishes, tended with meticulous care. Termites feed the fungus with chewed wood, then consume the softened substrate in return, a partnership perfected over millennia. Above ground, the mound's chimneys exhale faint wisps of moisture, evidence of the thriving civilization below. As dusk settles, bioluminescent fungi cast an eerie glow through the undergrowth. Tiny beetles and ants navigate by this ghostly light, drawn into the web of life and death that sustains the ecosystem. Even in darkness, the silent collaboration continues, nutrients cycling, roots extending, life blossoming in the unseen depths. The camera ascends once more, revealing the savanna's golden expanse. Yet now every blade of grass, every towering tree is seen anew, not as solitary survivors, but as members of a vast, interconnected society. The invisible architects beneath the soil ensure that Kenya's wild heart endures, their legacy woven into every breath of wind, every drop of rain, every living thing. In the hush of twilight, the earth itself seems to whisper, reminding us that the greatest forces often work in silence, shaping the world from below, unseen but indispensable, forever sustaining the miracle of life. Above the rippling grasslands, a new force stirs, one both ancient and ever-changing. As dawn breaks over the savanna, the camera soars upward, following wisps of mist as they rise from the cooling earth. The air itself becomes a living entity, invisible, yet shaping every moment, every movement in this wild domain. A gentle breeze shivers through the acacia canopy, sending a cascade of seed pods swirling to the ground. Each pod's journey is dictated by the shifting wind, its destiny written not in the soil below, but in the currents above. The lens closes in on a single dandelion seed, its feathery parachute catching the morning updraft. Lifted high, it drifts across the plains, an aerial pioneer searching for a new place to take root. The viewpoint glides with the wind, tracing the flight path of a dragonfly as it rides the thermals. It darts and hovers, wings shimmering in the golden light, its movements choreographed by the invisible hands of the air. Below, vultures spiral in lazy circles, using columns of rising heat to survey the land for opportunity and sustenance. The camera shifts to a dust devil twisting across a sun-baked clearing, its vortex gathering leaves, pollen, and the fine grains of life-sustaining soil. This swirling column, though fleeting, plays its part, dispersing nutrients and microseeds far beyond their origin, knitting distant corners of the ecosystem together. At the river's edge, reeds bend and sway in unison, their rustling chorus a whisper of coming change. The wind carries the scent of rain from distant mountains, alerting elephants to begin their slow migration toward the promise of water. Overhead, clouds gather and break, their shadows racing across the land, cooling and moistening all beneath. The lens narrows to the delicate wings of a butterfly, trembling in the afternoon breeze. Each flutter is a negotiation with the air, an intricate dance of adaptation and survival. Pollens hitch rides on these fragile travellers, ensuring the next generation of flowers will bloom far and wide. As evening falls, the wind softens, carrying the songs of frogs and the distant trumpeting of cranes. The air thickens with nocturnal scents, blooming flowers, damp earth, and the musk of unseen animals. In the hush of night, a sudden gust scatters moths into the moonlight, their silhouettes flickering against the sky. From the smallest seed to the towering cloud, from the flight of insects to the silent signals of scent, the breath of the land is ever present. It connects, nourishes, and transforms the wild heart of Kenya, an unseen architect, weaving together the destinies of all who call this place home. As the first rays of sunlight pierce the horizon, the savannah awakens not just to warmth, but to a silent conversation carried by light and shadow. The camera glides low across dew-laden grasses, each blade sparkling with 1,000 tiny prisms. Sunbeams filter through the umbrella-shaped canopy of acacias, painting shifting mosaics on the earth below, patterns that guide the cautious steps of grazing antelope and offer camouflage for the waiting leopard, its golden coat melting seamlessly into the dappled shade. The lens drifts to a termite mound where the morning sun strikes its eastern face. Here, a colony of industrious termites aligns its tunnels and chambers to the sun's arc, regulating the temperature within with architectural precision. In the cool undergrowth, chameleons navigate a world defined by gradients of light, their skin shifting colours to mirror the brightness or shadow that cloaks them. A sudden flash draws attention to a kingfisher poised above a shimmering stream. Its feathers blaze with iridescence as it dives, sunlight refracting off every droplet in a fleeting burst of colour. The camera slows to capture the subtle interplay of light on water, revealing the silvery forms of fish darting beneath the ripples, their scales flickering with the reflections of passing clouds. As midday approaches, heat shimmers rise from baked earth, distorting the landscape in a mirage of wavering forms. In these hours, many creatures retreat to the cool embrace of their burrows or the deep shade of fig trees. Yet for some, the harsh light is a shield. Lizards flatten their bodies on sunlit rocks, absorbing energy, while raptors soar high above, their shadows gliding silently over the plains, sending rodents scurrying for cover. In the dense thickets, sunlight weaves through tangled branches, forming narrow beams that illuminate hidden worlds. Here, jewel-toned beetles scuttle across sun-warmed bark, and butterflies unfurl their wings to drink in the radiant energy that fuels their journeys. Even the smallest forms, microscopic algae in a puddle, respond to the angle and intensity of the sun, blooming in vibrant greens and golds. As the day wanes, shadows stretch and lengthen, transforming the familiar landscape into a tapestry of contrasts. Giraffes drift through pools of golden light, their elongated forms casting surreal silhouettes on the savannah. The camera lingers on a pride of lions, reclining in fading sun, their fur brushed with the last warmth of the day. With dusk, the sun's departure signals a new rhythm. Nocturnal creatures stir as the world slips into cool blues and deep purples. Fireflies ignite, each pulse of light a brief message in the gathering darkness. In the final moments before night, the interplay of sunbeams and shadows fades, but their silent language endures, shaping behaviours, orchestrating migrations, and marking the passage of time itself. In Kenya's wild heart, light is more than illumination. It is a silent architect, a timekeeper, and a storyteller, sculpting the destinies of all who move beneath its ever-changing gaze. Invisible to the eye, yet vital to survival, the world of scent weaves an intricate web across the Kenyan wilds. As dawn deepens, a gentle breeze stirs the grasses, carrying with it a tapestry of aromas, each molecule a message, each current a silent guide. The camera glides above a herd of elephants as they lift their trunks, pausing in their march to taste the air. Their sensitive olfactory organs decipher distant rain, the presence of ripe fruit, and the subtle musk of unseen rivals. A matriarch's low rumble signals the herd to change course, following a path charted not by sight, but by the invisible signatures of scent. Beneath a tangled acacia, a solitary hyena sniffs the ground with purposeful intent. The lens tightens on her damp nose as she traces the faded spoor of a zebra herd, each hoofprint outlined by the distinct cocktail of pheromones and earth. In the undergrowth, a civet weaves between roots and fallen leaves, pausing to deposit a musky secretion that marks territory and whispers warnings to would-be challengers. The camera shifts to a cluster of wildebeest calves, their mothers nuzzling them with gentle sniffs. To the untrained eye, it is a simple gesture, but beneath the surface, complex chemical signals pass between them, a bond of recognition and reassurance, ensuring that even in the chaos of the Great Migration, mother and calf can always find each other. In the cool shade of a termite mound, the air vibrates with the faint tang of alarm pheromones. The lens dives into the maze-like tunnels where soldier termites rally to defend their colony, guided by trails of scent left by their scouts. Above ground, a honey badger plods through the bush, its keen nose leading it unerringly to a hidden hive, where the sweet fragrance of honey leaks from a crack in the bark. As dusk falls, the world of scent transforms. Nocturnal hunters, like the serval and the African wildcat, emerge, their movements dictated by invisible trails of rodent musk and bird feathers caught on the wind. The camera lingers on a patch of moonlit grass, where a moth flutters, drawn by the faint perfume of a night-blooming flower, a signal so specific it can cross kilometres of open land. Throughout the night, the air thickens with the mingled scents of damp earth, blooming acacias, and the distant promise of rain. For every creature, the olfactory landscape is a living map, a silent dialogue that shapes their destinies in ways the eye can never see. In Kenya's untamed wilderness, scent is the unseen thread that connects lives, orchestrates movement, and binds generations, an invisible current as constant and profound as the wind. In the stillness of the Kenyan dawn, before the chorus of birdsong has fully awakened, the wilderness pulses with a quieter, more intimate sense, the language of touch. The camera closes in on a herd of African elephants, their wrinkled trunks weaving through the air and brushing softly against each other's flanks. Each caress, each reassuring nudge is a silent conversation, a tapestry of tactile signals that reinforce bonds, comfort calves, and maintain the fragile order of the herd. The lens shifts to a pride of lions sprawled in the golden grass. A mother's rough tongue rasps over her cub's fur, grooming away dust and parasites while imparting warmth and reassurance. The cubs tumble and pounce, their playful bites and swats not just games, but essential lessons in strength, dominance, and affection, a wordless curriculum written in fur and muscle. Beneath a sun-bleached log, a column of Matabele ants marches in single file. As they travel, antennae brush and tap along the path, transmitting vibrations and chemical cues, each touch a precise instruction, guiding the colony through the chaos of the savannah. The camera dives into the undergrowth, revealing a pair of chameleons, their prehensile tails entwined as they navigate the shifting branches. Their feet, delicately splayed, sense the subtle tremors of approaching danger, prompting a synchronized retreat into leafy camouflage. High above, a flock of quilea birds erupts from a reed bed, their wings beating in perfect unison. The rush of air and the gentle collisions of bodies in flight create a living wave, each bird adjusting its course by the faintest brush of feathers. A collective awareness that keeps the flock safe from hungry falcons circling overhead. As the day wanes, a family of warthogs huddles in the cool embrace of an abandoned aardvark burrow. They press close, sharing warmth and safety in the darkness, their skin-to-skin contact a vital shield against the night's chill and the lurking threats beyond. In the world beneath our feet, a pangolin's armoured scales ripple as it curls defensively, each plate sensitive to the vibrations of nearby danger. The camera lingers on the textured surface, capturing the subtle tremors that ripple through the earth. Messages felt, not heard, guiding the pangolin's journey through the nocturnal landscape. As moonlight bathes the savannah, Kenya's wild inhabitants rely on the wisdom of touch, a silent rhythm woven through every moment of connection, conflict and survival. Here, in the embrace of the land, the language of contact is ancient and unbroken, shaping destinies with every gentle nudge, every urgent prod, every tremor in the grass. As the first rays of sunlight spill across the Kenyan plains, a new dimension of the wilderness awakens, one painted not with colours or movement, but with a symphony of sound. The camera glides low over dew-speckled grass, where the dawn chorus begins in earnest. A solitary lark, perched atop a slender acacia twig, trills a complex melody, each note piercing the hush, its song both a declaration of territory and a beacon for potential mates. In the shadows, beneath a tangled thicket, the rhythmic drumming of a woodpecker echoes through hollow bark, sending subtle vibrations that signal its presence to rivals and partners alike. The lens lingers on a herd of impalas, their hooves striking the earth in a staccato pattern as they leap and bound, a coded warning that ripples outward, alerting the nearby zebra and wildebeest to unseen danger. A sudden hush falls as the camera shifts to a shallow marsh, where the low, resonant croaks of bullfrogs swell and fade in overlapping waves. Their calls blend with the gentle lapping of water against reeds, creating a layered tapestry of sound that marks the boundaries of territory and the promise of new life. High above, the shrill cries of fish-eagles spiral on the wind, their calls carrying for miles a haunting anthem that binds the river valley together. Burrowing deeper, a colony of naked mole rats scurries beneath the earth. The microphone picks up a chorus of high-pitched squeaks and low, guttural grunts, an intricate language that coordinates labour and signals alarm in the labyrinthine dark. Even the insects join the performance. Cicadas drone in rising crescendos, their wings vibrating in perfect synchrony, while the soft clicks of dung beetles rolling their precious cargo punctuate the silence of the midday heat. As dusk falls, the soundscape shifts once more. The distant roar of a lion reverberates across the savannah, a deep, chest-felt call that asserts dominance and draws the pride together. Nightjars flutter silently above, their ghostly forms betrayed only by the occasional sharp chirr, while in the undergrowth the rasping stridulation of katydids weaves a hypnotic rhythm. In Kenya's wild heart, every creature finds its voice, and every moment is scored by nature's own orchestra. Here, sound is more than noise. It is a language, a shield, a lure, and a lifeline. The air itself becomes a canvas, painted with the infinite palette of the wilderness's sonic mosaic, a living, breathing testament to the interconnected lives that pulse beneath the African sky. As the sun arcs overhead, shadows stretch and contract across the Kenyan wilderness, painting the land with shifting patterns that become silent actors in the daily drama of survival. The camera glides above the golden savannah, following the fleeting silhouette of a cheetah as it crouches low in the tall grass. Its body merges with the broken stripes of shade cast by scattered acacia trees, each calculated movement cloaked in camouflage, blurring the line between predator and landscape. In a rocky outcrop, a troop of rock hyraxes scurries along sun-warmed boulders. Their tiny bodies dart between pools of light and shadow, each pause and dash, timed to avoid the circling gaze of a martial eagle overhead. The interplay of brightness and darkness is a living map, one that guides the cautious and exposes the careless. Beneath the dense canopy of a riverine forest, a colobus monkey navigates the latticework of branches. Its black and white fur flickers in and out of sight, vanishing into deep patches of shade, then reappearing in shafts of filtered sunlight. The forest floor below is a patchwork quilt dappled with light, alive with the furtive shuffles of duikers and the flickering tails of lizards, each movement expertly choreographed to avoid detection. Along the riverbank, the slow glide of a crocodile is betrayed only by the ripple of shadows on the water's surface. Fish scatter in synchronized bursts, their silver bodies momentarily illuminated before vanishing into the cool blue gloom. Even the tiniest creatures, leaf insects, stick mantises, move in rhythm with the swaying foliage, their bodies swaying in perfect harmony with the shadows that conceal them. As dusk deepens, the camera lingers on a herd of elephants crossing a sunlit clearing. Their massive forms cast long, wavering shadows that meld and separate a silent procession, echoing the ancient migrations etched into the land itself. Each footfall stirs a cloud of dust, swirling in the last golden light, before dissolving into the encroaching night. In the wilderness of Kenya, the dance of shadows is more than spectacle. It is a vital strategy, a language written in movement and light. For every hunter, every prey, every fleeting life survival is choreographed in the ever-changing interplay of sun and shade. Here, movement is art, and every shadow is both a shield and a stage, shaping the destinies of those who call this land home. Beneath the endless sky of Kenya, survival is not just a matter of speed or strength. It is a question of sanctuary. The camera glides low over the terrain, revealing a mosaic of ingenious shelters, each crafted by instinct, shaped by necessity, and hidden in plain sight. At the edge of the savannah, a burrow mouth barely disturbs the crust of cracked earth. Inside, a family of bat-eared foxes curls in the cool darkness, their den a labyrinth of tunnels sculpted to escape the midday heat and lurking predators. The lens lingers on delicate claw marks etched into the soil, evidence of nightly excavation, a silent testament to persistence. Further afield, the camera finds a porcupine retreating into a fortress of thorny branches. Each stick is carefully arranged, forming a barricade that deters even the most determined leopard. The porcupine's quills bristle in the dim light, its eyes glinting with quiet vigilance as dusk descends. Among tangled roots by a muddy waterhole, a Nile monitor slips beneath a tangle of driftwood. Its scaly body vanishes into a hollowed log, the entrance disguised by a curtain of fallen leaves. Overhead, a lilac-breasted roller inspects a narrow crevice in a baobab trunk, its nest tucked deep within the ancient wood, safe from marauding snakes and prying talons. In the arid scrublands, a colony of naked mole rats tunnels ceaselessly beneath the surface. The camera cuts to a subterranean world, a network of winding passages where pale bodies navigate by touch and scent, insulated from the punishing sun above. High in the canopy, a weaver bird's nest sways in the breeze. Intricate and pendulous, it dangles from the tip of an acacia branch, woven from grasses and lined with soft feathers. The bird's beak works tirelessly, threading each strand with deliberate precision, building a cradle that will cradle the next generation. As twilight deepens, a leopard's rosette-spotted form melts into the crook of a fever tree, limbs draped in relaxed vigilance. Its chosen perch is not random. Here the breeze carries away its scent, and the vantage point provides a commanding view of the moonlit savannah below. In every corner of Kenya's wild shelter is an act of ingenuity, a geometry of concealment, protection, and hope. Each den, nest, and hollow is a silent promise. Here, for a moment, life endures, shielded from the relentless uncertainties of the open plain. In the wild heart of Kenya, survival often belongs to those who are unseen. As the sun climbs, painting the savannah in shifting golds and deep shadows, a remarkable transformation unfolds. Nature's most elusive artists emerge, blending seamlessly with the world around them. The camera settles on a patch of parched grass, seemingly empty, until a sudden flicker betrays the outline of a leaf-tailed gecko. Its mottled skin mirrors the dappled sunlight and cracked bark, rendering it nearly invisible to both predator and prey. The gecko's eyes, rimmed with golden flecks, move independently, scanning for the slightest ripple of movement. With a barely perceptible twitch, it slips along the branch, disappearing once more into the tapestry of light and shadow. Nearby, a pride of lionesses stalks through the tall grass. Their tawny coats melt into the sun-bleached blades, each step measured, each muscle taut. The camera draws close, revealing how the play of sunlight and wind conceals their approach. Only the faintest glint of an amber eye gives them away. In a single coordinated burst, they vanish, swallowed by the grass, their presence betrayed only by the sudden stillness of the grazing impala. Beneath the acacia thorns, a flap-necked chameleon inches along a slender branch. Its skin shifts from leafy green to dusty brown, perfectly matching the bark as it pauses, tongue poised. The camera lingers on the minute ripples of colour that pulse across its scales, a living palette attuned to every nuance of its surroundings. In the shallows of a muddy riverbank, a Nile crocodile lies motionless. Algae and river debris cling to its rugged hide, disguising its hulking form as a floating log. Fish dart past, oblivious to the ancient eyes tracking their every move. Only when the camera's lens tightens does the illusion dissolve, revealing the predator in patient ambush. As dusk falls, a nightjar settles among pebbles and dry leaves. Its plumage, a mosaic of greys and browns, mimics the ground so precisely that even the sharpest-eyed predator would overlook it. The bird's stillness is absolute. Only the subtle thrum of its heartbeat, visible in the soft rise and fall of feathers, betrays the life within. From the smallest insect to the mightiest predator, Kenya's wild abounds with masters of deception. Here, camouflage is not just a defence. It is a delicate art, honed by ages of adaptation, a silent duel between those who must see and those who must remain unseen. In this world of perpetual hiding and seeking, invisibility is often the greatest shield of all.